This is a IVC ultrasound. This is also a cardiac ultrasound, which we'll get to later on. This is the IVC. You have a great view of it going to the right atrium. This was read as completely collapsible, and I wouldn't say this is collapsing completely. You look here, and if you watch the walls, it doesn't collapse that much. Now, close to the right atrium, it's not going to collapse because it's pretty elastic. And so you do want to go more distally by the hepatic veins. The problem is that as you see the patient take a deep breath, you kind of lose the IVC. It's not that it collapses, just that your probe moves and you're off axis. So based on this, I don't think you can really make a clinical decision. I don't think you could say that it completely collapses. With that said, I wouldn't say that it doesn't collapse. Really, you can only use the IVC if they touch, if the walls touch. If you have complete collapsibility where you can clearly see that the walls are touching when the patient takes a deep breath, then I would say that the patient does need volume. And no matter what Frank-Starling curve they're on, they will be volume responsive with the fluid bolus that you give. This is the echo, and this is the only view done, and I think the subxiphoid is a very poor view to tell the ejection fraction. With that said, there is a part that comes here where I think the walls are touching, so I think that this is a hyperdynamic, or that I think based on this echo you can safely give the patient volume. So really the main take-home points is for the IVC, be careful, just make sure you have a good view in long axis like you're doing, and that really I would only make a clinical decision with if you should give fluids or not if the walls are touching. But then you can also do an echo to look for the EF, and I would do more the peristernal long and peristernal short for that, or the apical four-chamber. Subxiphoid is really the best for pericardial effusion, which there's clearly no pericardial effusion. And you can also do a lung ultrasound to see if there are B lines or not. So if you have a patient with a, normal EF or even a decreased EF, but there's no B lines on lung ultrasound, then that's someone you can safely give fluid because they're not in anywhere near close to pulmonary edema. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for saving.